Hello and welcome to the 2023 Savannah Open, powered by Dynamic Discs. This is a B-Tier over in Savannah, Georgia, or right next to it in Pooler, Georgia. Commentary is being done by myself, Jacob Chesser, and my good buddy, Adam Howard.
What is up, everybody? This is Adam Howard. I'm a local guy to Savannah, play Tom Triplett all the time, so hopefully we'll be able to give you some good insights to these holes and what's going on with these guys.
We've got a stacked card here on the feature card of the first round here on the front 10. Let's see who these guys are. This man needs no introduction. Beloved disc golfer Zach Melton. Got a serious left hand. Breakout star this past year on the Pro Tour, Isaac Robinson. By himself this year, Ezra was not able to make it. A legend of the sport, Michael Johansen, making his way down from North Carolina. He seems to always come and make this event. And finally rounding out the card, Grady Shue. Super talented, new sponsor this year. Tons of power. It'll be exciting to watch him.
Right now we've got hole 1 from the black tees. That's the layout that we're playing for this first round. It's a 312-foot par 3 with OB on the right with that road that you can see there. Most of these guys are going to be throwing slower discs like a mid or a putter to limit that low-speed fade that's going to take them away from the basket. The forehand is also in play for the right-handed players, but that does bring that OB road on the right into play a little bit more. This is a super technical hole and kind of a nervy one to start with, so it's a great one to get to start your round.
Good hole for a left-handed backhand. Zach likes to throw straight stuff. Really just a dead straight hole. If you get a little right finish, that's just kind of icing on the cake.
Oh, it's just low.
Slide.
That's not a bad kick. He'll have a probably just outside the circle look for that.
Yeah, this ground is really hard and packed down, and where it's not, it's all pine straw. So the ground play is good as long as you don't get a root.
Straight.
That gets through.
Nice shot.
Ideal.
That looked like a straight frisbee.
That'll be a tap-in birdie for Isaac to
M3?
start off. Can't do it much better than that.
M4. That's got to be the best M4 ever made.
This is the type of hole that Michael Joe and Isaac feast on, just throwing putters and mids dead straight.
I would have bet for sure M3.
This is true. He does get that
They
little
all
right
like that?
finish. He'll be right at circle's edge, maybe actually just a little bit outside circle 1, but we need to check this. I think Michael Johansen has probably won this tournament more than anyone.
He's won a lot of tournaments more than anybody, so I believe that.
And Grady getting razzed by the train. There are some train tracks that are probably 75 yards to the right of this tee pad. And sometimes you can get some bad luck getting razzed on the tee pad at Tom Triplett, but that's just how it goes.
Seems like the trains move like 1 mile an hour too, so that you might hear that horn 50 times before you even get away from it on the other side of the course. Zach runs a good little putt there.
That's such a good
Couple
layup.
inches short, but he had a chance.
Michael Joe with the floater. Oh, wow. What a putt.
So much touch right there.
The first run back of 2023. Let's see it again. Floats it up on the ante. Trusts the stability of the disc. Gives it enough height to just barely squeak over the cage. Runs it in. Gives the celebration. You love to see it.
Grady with the train in the background. He can't get away from it. Oh, what
it
a
doesn't matter.
putt. Incredible. The second run back of 2023. Back-to-back putts.
This is
So
awesome.
good. Right in the heart. Great pace on it. You'd love to start a tournament like that. You can see a little wind here on the video, but it was pretty great conditions on the day for the most part.
I look like a chump. You get the box for 1 hole, now you're the back. Nice birdies, I guess. Wow. I didn't think par was going to be that bad on this hole. Unbelievable.
You know, I think Zach has a point. Par really isn't that bad on that hole. And, you know, the 2 birdies were awesome circle 2 putts. So congrats to those guys. Great to see starting out this early. Moving on to hole 2, we've got a 393-foot par 3, which might even be more technical than hole 1. And it looks like we've got some antics going on down the fairway. You want to throw it right over that bridge with something that's going to flip up a little bit and hold straight long enough to just make it out of the woods. If you can get anywhere in the clearing up here and give yourself that 70, 80-foot look, that's kind of what you're hoping for here. You can get a lot of big numbers on this one. Par is a great score.
Yeah, circle 2, you're super happy about here. Circle 1 is just ridiculous. I mean, I've probably played 10 rounds at this course, and I've seen circle 1 maybe 5 times, I feel like. So, I don't know. It might be more common for you local guys down there, but this hole is not easy.
Trust me, it's not. That looks like the ideal line. You know, started out on a hyzer to, you know, kind of hit that first gap and get it to flip up to carry a little bit of the distance. He's right on the edge of the woods. He'll have a really long look, but a very easy par.
Yeah, I don't even know if he was even playing to try and get up in there. I mean, it looked like he was just trying to smooth one out of the open because, again, he might take a stroke on Grady right here, depending on how bad his kick was.
Don't hit that.
That's ideal. Wow.
Woo.
With the forehand.
That's a great forehand shot, man. That's really, really good.
Sweet. Best shot.
Zach would throw that shot as much as he can. Best shot of his life. There you go.
So for Grady right here, we didn't say it earlier, this path on the left is out of bounds. If you get far enough over to the left, you can play over that. Looks like he's trying to go straight through and gets another Hurley tree kick. This left side is brutal. Oh, he's actually in the ditch. Oh, man. I feel that.
I've seen this happen a bunch of times on this hole. There's trees everywhere, and if you're not in the middle of that fairway, you're not going to have a good time.
Oh, Isaac leading a little bit of a comeback. You know, he's probably less stressed than the rest of us, being the putter that he is, but I think that's outside circle 1.
And Grady trying to gather himself, throw a good shot up in here. He can tap one in and get to the next hole. That's exactly what he does. A little half run here from Michael Joe.
Nice shot, mate.
Low stress par. It's fantastic on this hole.
Oh my gosh, the wind. Looks like Zach's throwing a Saki slammer here to try to combat this wind. Looks like it's a headwind right in his face. Oh my gosh.
I think it actually rejected me. It was like, no thank you, sir.
No, such a cool bid. Isaac's got a windy one here. This is definitely a tester. Doesn't matter. Hearted.
Love watching Isaac putt.
Just love putts and not tapping.
No hesitation.
It's all good.
He's putted a trillion times. He's got his routine down. He knows exactly how he's going to release it. What's there to think about? Just let it go, and that's what he does.
Oh my God! I thought I had the first ever circle 2 make with a Ricky Slammer, like with an actual jump putt, you know, not a throw in.
So Grady taking kind of a big number on that one and can show you the, you know, what can happen on that hole. It can really bite you. Moving on to hole 3. This is a very short hole at 184 feet. Extremely technical again. Believe it or not, we've actually lost a lot of trees on this hole in the past few years. There's probably 4 or 5 different routes you can take off the tee, just whatever shot you're most comfortable throwing and whatever disc speed you're most comfortable throwing. Don't see a lot of big numbers on this one, but we do see a lot of threes.
Yeah, there might be 4 or 5 gaps, but each of those gaps is about 3 feet wide, so you got to be precise. Isaac Robinson breaking out a forehand early in 2023.
I think it's a little closer than you think. Looked like it dropped like 3 or 4
I'm
feet.
sure Michael Joe's taking the dead straight route.
can't believe I just watched you throw a forehand, dude.
Yep.
Kinda blew my
That
mind.
gap that he's trying to hit is
So in the off-season goal,
maybe
get a
5.5 feet
210
wide, and
forehand.
it's probably 60 feet off the tee. So that's an extremely hard gap to hit.
Yeah, you couldn't walk through that gap with your hands out and not touch a tree.
Oh! Ugh. I would miss it this time.
Looks like Grady's lining up this hyzer forehand on the left side.
Flex guy. That's fun.
Sweet.
Great shot.
184-foot hole. I think we have one in the circle. Just shows you how tight these gaps are, and we can hear it in the mic too. It's really, really windy. So that's obviously going to affect any distance type of shot.
And I also want to say we just saw MJ and Isaac throw a forehand on the same hole, if that tells you anything.
Yeah, we need Stat Mando to tell us if that's ever been an instance before. I would guess probably not. But Isaac bangs the putt in.
Kid can putt. He's a putter.
Was that his disc on top? Ooh, good putt by Grady there, too.
Tried to
catch.
spit through on him. Putted it to dead center.
Nice tap in, Mike.
Take that closer.
Yeah, that was sweet. That was sweet, dude.
Couple of world-class tap-ins right there. Get out of there with a couple pars, couple birdies.
I feel like this is about how you see this hole played. Oh, it wasn't his disc. Throwing it back
I was
on
wondering
top.
what was going on with that. There we go.
But yeah, splitting the card, 2 birdies, 2 pars is pretty, normal on that one. Moving on to hole 4. This is the signature hole here at Tom Triplett Park. The 750-foot par 5. You've got out-of-bounds water on the left and out-of-bounds path on the right for the entire distance of the hole. You're also throwing on kind of a spine all the way down, so you can get some mean ground play down towards the water or towards the path. Once you get up to the basket, it's in a bowl here, and you have an elevated basket to putt to on these railroad ties.
Such a cool hole. A lot of different options off the tee. Flex of a backhand for your right-handed player. Safe wide hyzer like Isaac's going here. I would imagine this is the route a lot of us are going to be taking because of this wind. And it flips Isaac's disc all the way over. I think that was an FX2, and it flipped it up and over. That's how windy it is today.
Grady looks like he's making a bit of a connection, throwing on a little bit more of that hyzer angle and
Thanks.
soft ground play. That's about perfect for these windy conditions.
Yeah, you can see that Spanish moss just whipping right there. Inbounds you're pretty happy with that today in these types of conditions. Michael Joe on flat ground, that is huge.
Yep, right up by the short pad. I think it's 510 feet from the short pad to the pin.
Oh, that is hyzer.
Real scary for the left-handed player going over the water in this wind.
All right.
But he gets a good reaction even off the tree. He'll take that every time.
Yeah, he'll be out of position most likely for the eagle look, but that is a very fortunate landing zone after clipping that tree. Looks like MJ will be on flat ground there too. So
yeah, he'll have a routine up and down from there. Zach going over the water again. Oh man, this is nervy to watch that, but it stays in bounds.
I love it. Committed shot, even in the wind.
Only tossed 4 in this water in 2 days.
That's about standard.
Yep.
Oh, this is a women's sweatshirt. What?
Oh, stop.
A little early.
Stop. And that's exactly what you were talking about.
Oh, that.
Yep.
Bro, that is tragic.
That's a tough one. A lot of people, especially local and, when these big pros come, we talk about this being a pretty soft par 5. Today with these conditions, it's playing exactly like a par 5.
Yeah, great. Oh,
big skip off the top. He'll be probably 45 feet right there for an eagle look.
There you go, circle's edge.
Barely
snuck it
off
over
the top.
That is not a fun putt in this wind.
Yeah, anything to that elevated basket is scary enough, but when you add in the wind, it can turn into a big number really fast.
That looked good.
This hole averaged a 4.96 on the day. And I would say in years past, it's averaging closer to about 4.5, maybe even less, just to tell you how much this wind is getting in players' heads. That could be as a result of, oh, he skips it off the top of the pyramid. What great touch there. But, you know, just tells you the mindset of the players going into this is, hey, I might need to play safe. Or if they're not playing safe, that wind's playing with the disc a lot, contributing to that, averaging almost 5.
Really solid run from Grady there from circle 2. Yep. Bit of a miss from MJ. Looks like it settled up, didn't roll. A lot of times you can also, you know, if you have that soft landing at the top of these railroad ties, you can get a pretty nasty roll even from a putt.
Yeah, it was a pretty uncharacteristic miss from MJ. Looked like he rushed it a little bit. I mean, he does play insanely fast, but
All right.
getting him and Isaac on a card, they could probably play a full round in like 30 minutes.
You know, that'd be an interesting thing to try to figure out. You know, if we had a card with the fastest playing pros on tour, how long would it take them to finish 18 holes if they were playing pretty quick?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man.
Almost pulled an
Careful.
eye and fell. Oh. I almost went down. Y'all would have had to carry me to the next tee pack, Grady. If my foot had slipped and I hit my knee on that wood, like I would have been man down. Like no way I would have walked.
Got to be careful up there. Look at those scores. 1 down, 1 down, 1 down, 1 down. Got a battle royale brewing here.
All right, now we're on to hole 5, 371-foot par 3. You've got out of bounds road all the way on the right that curves back to the left, closer to the basket. Definitely within circle 1, the out of bounds on the right there. You've got kind of a peninsula to throw to. If you go in early and try to stay away from the road, you can get some trouble getting in the woods there to the left. Other than that, this one's a pretty straightforward backhand hyzer for righties. We'll see what Zach does, but this could be a lot trickier in the wind as well.
Yeah, this I mean, I think for the guys on this card, this is a mindless hyzer with something real overstable. You know, if you crash into the woods, oh well, you still have a putt. But just do not miss right is the only thing they're telling themselves right here. That's in the circle 1. He loves that.
Dang.
Yeah, he'll be putting away from the out of bounds. That's really an ideal position. You might get some wet feet from that ditch there. Zach does go with the forehand here. Looks like it's going to be a little bit early.
Straight left.
Hit tree.
Yeah.
Stayed near the outside. He might have a little jumper at it from there.
What up, my neighbor?
Yep, a little bit early from MJ as well. A little bit earlier. He'll be able to step out, I think, and straddle and putt from there. Isaac, I would imagine, is probably throwing that FX2 again.
Let's get 80 feet in there.
Yeah, depending on what the wind's doing here, FX2, maybe D1, something real overstable, high, wide. This looks fantastic.
Get in.
Oh my goodness. Yep. That's exactly what you
To
want.
be honest, they all flag.
And you can
Wide,
see the
overstable.
Yep, you can see the very top of the basket from the tee box there. You can't see the whole thing, so they might have thought that was 100% going in from their vantage point. Another forehand from MJ. I love it.
Another side
Forehand counter.
Who is this guy?
It's going crazy. I would have set the over-under at 1, and we're already at the over. Comment down below, how many forehands do you think Isaac and Michael Joe will throw in this round?
Yeah, Grady.
Closest one, Adam will send $10.
Yes, 10 doll hairs. And I think here on this one, Isaac, a little bit of left side putt there, but I think Isaac leaving that high enough really mitigated his ground play and the skip, so he was able to stick. Oh, you can kind of hear in the background everybody on the next hole going crazy. I was on that card, and Jamie Keep throws a 14.5 speed driver on the next hole and hits the cage. You'll see how ridiculous that is in a second when we get to the next hole.
Legendary.
Couple more birdies here. Still a pretty tight group with our lead card moving into hole 5B, which is an extra hole. We don't typically play this in like league layouts and stuff, but we have another par 3 here, 329 feet. Again, very technical wooded shot. The play here is probably going to be something that's going to give you a little bit of a turn and finish straight, so they might be throwing mid-ranges or kind of straight to understable fairway drivers. Really, as long as you get out of this initial gap, you'll be pretty happy with a 3 on this one. This one's playing pretty tough at a 3.31 average.
Dude, come on.
Yeah, Grady's not going to be happy with where he's at right there. This is off the fairway. This is probably the worst hole on the course in terms of like the overgrowth and the little tiny branches and trees. You know, this is pretty new of a hole, you know, in terms of this course. It's not real beat down on the edges. Isaac right there, edge of circle 1. I mean, that is just fantastic on this hole.
Yep, I'd agree. This is, if you get off the fairway, this is one of the toughest scrambles on the course for sure.
Okay.
And we didn't say it earlier, but on the left, that same road that was out of bounds on the previous hole is out of bounds on this hole as well. Wow, great
And
shot.
as expected, Isaac and Michael Joe feast inside of a massive forest with no gaps.
Oh,
That's a great scramble shot to give himself a circle 2 look for par on this one.
Ooh, Zach breaking out that Saki Slammer again, giving a good little run, hitting the last tree right in the way. He's got a lot of touch with that soft forehand.
All right, Grady stepping up for a circle 2 bid. He's already got one today. My guy.
Oh my goodness, so good.
What a par
Smooth.
save. Another run back.
Smooth, controlled. I love Grady's slow drawback. Real controlled, real smooth release. Really good form if someone you're wanting to watch step putt.
Can't be out here taking bogeys when your daughter's named after the
I'm
tournament.
also going to say I'm really loving the sweatshirt Grady's wearing as well, probably just as much as that last putt. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Putting clinic already. Not even a halfway through the round. We've got 4 run backs. And
This is
again,
so much
Isaac,
fun.
no hesitation, jams it in like he was 8 feet away.
nice. You remember that little seat here we played with Paul at Hornets Nest? Yeah. And he had that one like laying on the side? Yeah.
Going back to Grady's sweatshirt, I played with him later, and I'm pretty sure he says that he found that at Walmart, and it's a woman's sweatshirt, but it's like double XL, so it fits him. And I was like, man, you should have bought the whole rack of them, because I would have got one from you too. Isaac takes the lead here at 3 under, Grady at 2, Michael and Zach right behind him. A lot of holes left to play.
Moving on to the next one, hole 6. We have a par 4, 574 feet with out of bounds road all the way on the right. Once you clear the woods, there's out of bounds path on the left. This first shot is usually just a pretty stock hyzer. The second one coming up to the basket is the scary one. Once we get up here, you'll be able to see that this hole is on a peninsula. The basket is about 3 feet away from the edge of a pretty big drop off. So any putts that you're running at that basket from the short side are a lot scarier.
Yeah, you do not want to be long with your approach here. You want to lay that thing up about 5 feet short, because even a nice, controlled approach up to this basket, I've seen him stand up and roll 60 feet. So, a good smooth drive and a preferably short within the, bullseye approach, obviously,
That's
would be
right.
great.
On this one, off the tee again, you just blast a hyzer as hard as you can. That first light pole that you see on the right is about 330 feet from the tee. Looks like Grady just throws that about 475 casually.
Yeah, Grady's going to be like 100 feet out on that one. He could probably edge of his jump putt.
There we go.
Dude.
This is a much more touchy shot for a lefty, but they're able to take a max distance line with that anhyzer. Zach does it perfectly, gives himself a great spot to throw his approach from.
Literally the first good.
The longest drives I've seen on this hole have been pushed a little too wide, get that gigantic skip off the asphalt right there. Yep. Obviously, that's not, something that you're always necessarily trying to do, because you push it too wide, you're out of bounds. But if you're really needing some extra distance, that is an option I've seen people attempt to do.
MJ leaves his pretty short there. That's going to be a tough one. Isaac goes a little bit long. He's going to have some tough footing in the water there, but I would rather take that putt up the hill than having to
go in.
Get it.
Oh wow, great shot. But I'd rather take that putt than being 30 feet short and having a death putt down the hill.
100%. Yeah, you can see Zach landed his disc right there at the pin, and now he's 35 long. You got to land this thing about 15 short. If you're really trying to be safe.
We're trying.
That was a lot of touch there from Grady. Normally those stand up and roll.
Also, I think we need to emphasize a little bit more how close they were on those approach shots. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's tough to. Oh no. Okay, he got lucky there with the sit down. He juiced that one. He was trying to make it. I respect that.
You can absolutely get another roll away. If you hit off the band or off the cage here.
Oh wow. That is not something you see from Isaac Robinson very often.
Looks like he'll probably be just outside the circle here, I think.
That hit off the band from Zach might have gotten his head a little bit. Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't think I've ever seen that from Isaac. I would put a lot of money that he makes the next one, from however far away it is.
Yep. This one gets MJ as well. Okay,
yeah,
there
right
we go.
In the heart. There we go. We're back on track now. This is nervy.
Yeah, that most of the time when you're seeing three putts and stuff, it's with rollaways. But those were air balls there. He was able to connect and save the bogey, and that bogey putt was really scary. 25-footer. With nothing behind the basket except a big drop off. He could have. If he would have missed that one or had a rollaway, he could have had a circle two putt coming back very easily.
You can hear the wind whipping back there. This is not, straightforward, easy stuff here.
Yeah, combining elevation and a death putt and the wind. It's a very, very tricky green. You can get a lot of big score swings on this one. Moving on to hole 7, we have a par 4, 426 feet. Starting off with a Mando right off the tee. I believe for this one, you have to land across the pavement. It plays like an island. They're going up the blue tee pads fairway now. You can go that way. That's the first gap that you can enter if you go short, or you can throw a longer shot off the tee, and there's another gap that goes back towards the basket as well.
We'll see a couple of these guys take forehands, a lot safer play, something high, let it dump into the fairway. There is a more, a little scarier line, with a big, huge turnover, max distance, almost kind of throw, almost like a backhand roller type of angle. Zach will probably take a left-handed hyzer here.
Ooh, okay.
Put it right in the middle. That looks great.
Thank you.
And I do need to give a shout out to the one eagle that we saw during round 1 on this hole, if you can believe that or not. Chris Rogers. I heard it was about a 200-foot throw-in.
That's sick. Yeah, if you get a 2 here, you earned it for sure.
Isaac going with his turnover line. And again,
Maybe
you
a
can
little
just see
too
the
turned
wind
over, yeah.
just dumping that disc down. He's going to have a pretty pinched off approach shot to the pin, but
We might see a second forehand from Isaac. Oh, he might have the hyzer, okay.
oh, that wasn't a bad spot at all.
No, he ended up in a good spot for sure. Michael Joe looks like he's in the jungles of Vietnam here trying to get out.
Yep.
This is another one that's a kind of a new location here. You can see all the magnolias, all the
Beautiful.
different plants here in the way when you get off the fairway.
Good shot, old boy.
Good up shot there from Grady.
And landing in that ditch right behind the basket really is a good spot. I mean, you'll have a 15 or 20 footer coming back. There is that out of bounds road behind, probably right at circle's edge behind the basket, but that ditch collects most everything that goes in there.
Nice putt, Grady.
Thanks.
Yeah, you definitely really want to get the birdie on this one. I mean, it's not too tough of a hyzer with a forehand. It's, you know, you can throw a putter off the tee and still get it. If you can place something pretty consistently in a spot about 250 off the tee, you should really get a birdie here. But the wind and all the branches and everything can definitely play a factor on this one.
All right, we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4 score here. And now we're going into hole 8, which is a 276-foot par 3. Across the road, you've got an extremely tight gap to hit right off the tee. And then once you get up here, starting probably 80 feet short of the basket, you've got some more woods to contend with. We're probably going to see a lot of straight backhands here. Another play, just to make sure you get out of the first gap, is a flex forehand, and then trying to get lucky through the left side of the woods after you make it out of this first gap off the tee.
Hey, if you get out of the gap with something going straight-ish, you should be in circle 2 at the worst. But if you hit one of these first couple trees, you are not going to be happy with where you're at. That looks fantastic.
Nice shot.
Oh my gosh.
And it is.
I've never been
This backhand is a lot scarier once you're standing on the tee the way these trees shape up, especially with this wind. But
just higher.
that gets a little bit of ground
go.
play. It'll be fine.
All right. Yeah, I kept sliding.
Yeah.
Good slide. Good slide.
There you go. Little 25-footer there for Zach. Maybe a little outside of that.
Yeah, there's no reason.
You're happy with that here for sure.
No.
Isaac's definitely going to be taking the backhand with something straight.
Oh,
Oh. So bad being this.
That's kind of what we're talking about here. It's a tight gap off the tee, and this wind is going to make you second guess how you release it. And that's kind of what seems like that's what happened to Isaac there.
I didn't take all this time, though. I had to use it.
that's looking. Look at the wind playing with that thing.
Wow.
You got a 150 comment?
Doesn't matter. Settles up about
Nice
25
shot,
feet.
nice shot. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, slid right across.
Pretty routine up and down here, but
I think an A2 from Isaac there, something
Yep.
to fight the wind, to just kind of dump it in that more open right side. Yeah, maybe a little outside 25 feet here from Zach. Nice
Dang.
committed, confident putt there. Jams it right in the heart. That signature putting style there from Zach.
great putt there from Grady, and another great look at this sweatshirt, man. I can't get enough. This thing's awesome.
Reminds me of Dwight at the bar in the office. With the howling wolf. Love it.
MJ's loving it too.
Grady's putter is working for him today, that's for sure.
Isaac with the left hand and the bag on.
Yeah, it's usually when you go with when you're not happy about what just happened. And, Isaac's had a few unfortunate bogeys. And he's looking to turn the rest of this round over into some more positive stuff. And, knowing him, I'm sure that's exactly what he's about to do.
Yep. This is a good one to do it on, hole 9. Par 4, 505 feet. You want to throw something straight off the tee, about 300 feet to give yourself an open look at the basket. If you want to get down there, for more of an eagle look, throwing an overstable driver, getting a skip through these trees can put you pretty close to Circle 2's edge, or you're even within Circle 2. If you can play this one clean, this is a pretty easy birdie to get. Just, staying clean off the tee is the name of the game on this one.
Grady and Isaac most definitely have the power to get up into Circle 2 for sure. Pretty standardly. This is about a 30 feet wide fairway until that tree. So yeah, just a little more hyzer there for Grady would have been ideal, but he got a good kick toward the basket, so that's good.
Looks like it's behind us.
Zach's lining up the forehand, which is what you would expect, and he does turn this over. Let's see if he gets any love.
You could go through that many trees over there.
Dude.
Looks like he did not. He might even kick to the right.
I was supposed to have like a little bit of hyzer, and I thought it would turn.
That's more of the angle and the height that you're looking for to get down there. More towards the eagle look. If you give it the height, it'll give it time to travel to the left, which is where our pin is at this location. This is looking great.
Yep, for sure. Does he get it around the corner? He does. That's a nice little standstill putter up shot there for Isaac. That should be a pretty routine birdie for him.
Yep.
Looks like Zach did not get a great kick out of these woods. He's going to have to come up with something fancy here.
So he's actually over by the white tee pad. You can see 254 from where he's at, but he has a pretty rough gap to contend with right
that is not a picture-in-picture. That is the other tee sign right there that he is right in front of.
Yeah, this is dead straight off the tee. You can go.
Some sort of overstable approach at it. Oh my goodness, he hits the pole. He's been warming up that little flexi forehand the entire round. It's about time.
Yes, please give this man a run back. Let's see this thing from the other angle. Look at how much ante he puts on this.
Trust the overstability of that thing. Oh, man. 3 feet higher, and that is jammed in the basket. Great shot from Zach.
Tap-in birdie, courtesy of the phenomenal scramble. MJ leaves a little bit on that one, but he'll have a Circle 1 birdie look.
MJ must have got an interesting kick, too, because it looked like we saw him hyzering out, and he ended up over on the right side of the fairway. I'm not sure how that happened. Grady with a little touch forehand here.
That is
puts it right next to Zach. Their little touch forehands are working very well for him today so far. Isaac is jump putting. Goodness.
And giving it a pretty good bid from probably 115, 120 feet.
Good putt.
Oh, the classic MJ picking up the mini, looks up, disc is on the ground. You hate to see that. A little right, a little low. Usually that sticks.
Wow.
You can see the basket's a little leaned here. If it was vertical, I'm sure that thing would have stuck. That's unfortunate.
Man, it's not the worst one I've seen this weekend, though. Conrad had one way worse than that at putting league. You remember that putt, Conrad, that fell out?
Roasting Conrad in the middle of the round. That's just unnecessary.
Dude, that was such a delay.
But appreciated. Back with the tap-in birdie there. Looking at our scores here, still got a pretty tight group. Grady's starting to pull away a little bit. MJ would have been at 3 down right there with Isaac. That putt would have stuck. And now looking at our scores, Chris Rogers, a local guy, tied for first place with Grady Shue at 6 under through 10. Some people are still out there on the course. But we've seen some amazing putts. We've seen some amazing scrambles. We've seen some amazing drives. And we've also seen Zach make fun of Conrad's spitouts. So it's been a solid front 10.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the wind is going to still be whipping when we come back to watch the final 9. We'll watch these guys fight the wind. It's so windy that it's even in the woods windy. So, you know, we got some tough holes coming up here, and we'll see how these guys do. Thanks for watching. Join us on the back 9, and we'll see y'all really soon.